everyone. Hello, all my friends. Today, December the 13th, Saturday. This is our workshop for spring forming machine. This area for spring forming machine. We now have several sets spring forming machine in different progress. So let's count down that have total 8 sets spring forming machine. We now have 8 sets spring forming machine in different progress. And today, 2 lots domestic clients stay in our workshop for a free using training for this one, for this machine. And this under construction. This for the camless spring forming machine. Stand out the work panel and the rear view. Let's show you the rear view. Under construction, the system electrolytic for holding in this cabinet for all system related parts. For example, the control system mainboard, the power supply. Here's the cam-based spring forming. This is the cam-based spring forming machine. We use Akuchi operating system Akuchi. This operating system Akuchi. The servers, 4 axes, each of LAN, the server. This is the server. LAN control that is motor. The system related, here's in this cabinet holding. This is a cam-based cam-link spring forming machine. This is a cam-link spring forming machine for feeding wire 0.2 to maximum to 2.5 millimeter. Akuchi and the L switch, Taiwan Shirin Electrics. Power supply, the lineup for the wire, for single wire, and for electric wire. Here's this installed. This installation will take about 3 or 4 days to complete a whole machine, including the mental parts and the system related parts, the operating system, the rear view of the machine. This the machine heart for the high precision control and the wire feeding accuracy. This is really important. We take 2 to 4 hours to install this wire feeding heart. To control is vibrate at vertical or horizontal. So this at tolerance 0.02 millimeter for wire feeding accuracy. So this machine with ability to process the mini wire of 0.2 millimeter. So, and the client training on this machine for the flat strip constant force spring. The whole set machine, including the wire decoil and the main machine, also along with the high frequent induction heating equipment for a constant force spring. Here's the samples. Flat strip constant force spring. Flat strip constant force spring is a customized solution for the client. This machine with ability to handling the different springs for the regular as extension torsion or double torsion. Extension springs also for the customized solution. For example, presently for the constant force spring, flat strip. Here's in different state of our workshop. So the client build a team, come to our factory to stay several days for a free using training. Stay several days for a free using training. For comprehensive training, for program, for making the tools, program installed fixed on a wire fitting and adjust the size of tools. The whole set tools at the rear view, at the rear of the work panel, the tools recorded the wire fitting tools. And in front of the work panel, recorded the spring and the task forming tools. Here's the major, the special forming tools. This is high frequent induction heating equipment. The spinner at 3 o'clock site and the operating system, the interface, the screen 17 centimeter, 70 inch. English, Chinese, or provide you the customized solution as Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, or Turkish as if you need it. Here's the different parameters. For example, we set the total task, the rate, and the probe, the failure quantity, the present sampling speed. So the figures can be English, Chinese, or Swedish. The lines, this stand for the degree, and this at wire fitting at unit of millimeter. Degree, and a degree spinner. This is a spinner. Lathe, this is the lathe. In a certain period, a certain steps, maybe build a full period for a cycling to make the similar tasks. And this installing the work panel, the layer. This is high, very, we have the high demanding on its tolerance control. For this one, this is a pair. For example, we cannot change this to here or this to here. This is a pair. They cannot change the tools each other. Is for the best accuracy controlling. And this machine installing almost completed. Next week, we'll go for the put on tools for the sampling, and the next for the training purpose. So 4 axes as well. This is 4 axes as well. Here's the spinner. Cam link spring forming machine. This, the, so here's the camless one with wire rotary. This one for max 4.5 millimeter, but presently for the task, flat strip, bending, constant force spring, and the truss, the client stay here a couple days for the training under the lead of our skillful engineer. Meanwhile, this area for a spring coiling machine, one of the clients, domestic clients, stay here for a training to set CNC spring coiling machine, This sampling, this one sampling completed. The straightener, the wire straightener, then goes to the guiding plate, feeding roller, one pair of feeding roller, two axes, this one, for 0.9 stainless steel. Wire thickness 0.9 stainless steel for the mobile phone needle, mobile phone SM card pin, This one, mobile phone SIM card pin. In different shapes, this sampling completed and will coming for the dispatch to Egypt. This is the buyer from Egypt, and we use the lower slider, the upper slider for the right hand turning, the left hand turning. This upper slider for mobile phone card pin at several types. This one type, and here's another type. SIM card pin. Okay. Meanwhile, here's the client at training purpose for aluminium coil. Here show you some of the samples. Okay, this machine, two axis, wire decoil, max load 100 kilogram, and this the main machine. Here's a lubrication cabinet holding the grease, provide and this machine feeding wire length 0.15 to 1 millimeter. The motor, both two axes, both of them 1 kilowatt for serial motor, and the operating system in Akuchi. This machine have a lot of functions. For example, for the oil seal spring, for the ballpoint pen spring, for lotion pump spring, for the mini springs, compression springs, using in many fields. For example, in the keyboard, the mobile phone, touching pad, and a lot of user side for toys, for electric appliance, for the oil seal in industrial oil seal spring, for lotion pump spring, for the ballpoint pen spring, also for the simple torsion springs as well, and a lot of user side using in umbrellas, side loop extension springs. So here's in different stage, this camless to be completed presently maybe just less, less 45 completed for a percentage, less 45 percentage to be fixed on the mental pass, just stand out the work panel. This camless usually standard 10 axis for feeding wire 0.2 to 2.5 millimeter. Camless each of land to be fixed on 1 kilowatt motor, 1 kilowatt motor, and this is the layer base can adjust the fan position by this, adjust the fan position and the directions by this, okay, adjust. So here's the manual 34 millimeter, the manual diameter 34 millimeter. This for the work panel. Put on the mental pass, and in the rear view, here's the cabinet holding the electric pass, and the heart of the machine. This the heart of the machine. Is the heart of the machine for wire feeding hub. Wire feeding hub is the heart of the machine. For wire feeding, powerful, stable, and accuracy, this play the most important role for a spring forming machine. The wire feeding hub, for his stable running, for his powerful, for his precision at the tolerance control. And the motor and the reducer, here's the reducer, 8 handle. This camless without wire rotary. Camless without wire rotary. And this the cam base with wire, cam base without wire rotary. Here's the motor for wire feeding, driving the wire feeding hub. And this the motor, this axis driving the axis turning some degrees. This 2.7 driving the all work panels 8 handle by the link of cam base. The wire decoil, and meanwhile this one of the sample is completed. This one, camless 11 axis. As here's another axis. Special tailor-made tools fixed on this spinner, 8 handle. This one for the feeding wire length 0.3 to 1.6 millimeter. 0.3 to 1.6 millimeter. Camless 8 handle reducer 1 kilowatt. Also this for 0.3 to 1.6 millimeter. We can extend it the manual if the task is larger or longer. For the regular extension, regular products, we're using the regular length of the manual. In front of the work panel, consists of the tools for the task forming tools, as the coiling finger, the irregular shaped aids, lot, different shaped of lot of tools, a coiling finger, or the cutter, and the manual build up the tools for task forming tools in front of the work panel. This work panel, so the layer, here's the moving distance. This looks like a cam base to driving as farthest bending the wire in different or certain directions. Then the checked during its away the working site. And here's the wire feeding hub. This machine, this type, by the gearbox type. This is gearbox type. This machine by the gearbox type wire feeding hub. The gearbox and this one completely different. This is another of the wire feeding hub. Okay, once again, let me focus on this. This for the regular extension spring, torsion spring, especially good at, especially for the standards. This one good at for making the extension springs, also for the wire forming products, irregular wire forming products. So nowadays, many of our orders are original from the client give us the irregular wire forming task. We provide them the professional solution to get the order, install the machine, put on the tools, go sampling, sampling completed. We will discuss with client whether they need come here for a free using training. After the training, we'll go next final for the dispatch step by step. Feeding roller, straightener, wire straightener, for the horizontal, and for the vertical control. And here's cabinet holding the electrics. And this to fix on the work, stand out the work panel. This one for feeding wire, the maximum 4.5 millimeter. Meanwhile, let me show you this one for the maximum 8 millimeter. This is a heavy-duty spring forming machine. For agriculture, springtime, lake time. Agriculture, springtime, lake time. You can see is for every handle for high wind linear guideway, Taiwan high wind linear guideway. And the tool base solidly fixed on the work panel, and this work panel Teflon coating. And the maximum moving distance 18 centimeter. The manger 8 centimeter. For the regular tasks, we're using the regular length. If the tasks are larger or longer, we will extend the manger to meet up with your tasks. We also can use the height pad to increase us here to make the different according to the request. We can extend it longer for larger or for longer tasks. This for agriculture, springtime, lake time. Springtime, lake time. Also widely used to make it many different springs in automobile industry, as the landing wiper, the chuck slit, extension springs, torsion or double torsion springs. This one heavy duty to be loaded by high tube container. High tube container, this machine. So here's this cabinet holding the wire, holding the two-man systems for the wire rotary and the wire feeding. Wire rotary and the wire feeding. Gear driven, wire loading, and the 4 pair feeding rollers. Okay, let me show you the samples made by this machine for agriculture, springtime, lake time, springtime, lake time. Okay, this machine for agriculture purpose, springtime, lake time. For automobiles, different types springs extension and using different size for landing wiper, for track lead, for the brake spring, for accelerator pad springs. For feeding wire, 3 to 8 millimeter. Extension springs, and this current this stays for a free using training. This is a cam-based spring forming machine. Cam-based spring forming machine. For the current task, constant force. The training content including how to get the wire feeding straight. For the wire feeding, for making the tools, for customizing the tools, for the program, for the daily maintenance, for the lubrication, everything, for how to identify the signal of the right, for the servo's signal, and the programming, everything for the comprehensive training. From A to Z, a comprehensive training take several days. This the cam-based spring forming machine. Okay, this is our workshop for assembly spring forming machine. We are mid-size CNC spring machine manufacturer in Dongguan, South China. Over 20 years experience. This is one of our workshop for assembly the spring forming machine. We also have the workshop for mental part procession for the CNC center. And this area for spring coiling machine, for compression spring machine. And also one client here for training at 2-axis compression spring machine for aluminium coil purpose. So presently, we now have 8 spring forming machine. Some sampling 1 or 2 items completely, and to be go next for more samplings. And some in the middle in the process of installing, just stand out the work panel, and some to be put on the forming tools for sampling next week. And also some for the clients stay here for 7 days training. Okay, I'm a bigger CNC spring machine manufacturer. Over 20 years experience, mid-sized. We have the CE license. We have the export permit. Have export experience over 16 years. And our export has reached over 32 countries and regions. For our machine covering the wire diameter from for the standard from 0.15 max to 10 millimeter. We also have the special products, special machine for the conveyor belt, for the pipe clip, for the thread insert, for agriculture, leg tie, leg teeth. So, welcome. If you're interested, you can send me, you can add my WhatsApp or send me your join by WhatsApp, by WeChat, or by email site. Okay, this is Baker, and this is our heavy duty spring forming machine. If you're interested, send me your inquiry. Okay, my friend, this is the heavy duty spring forming machine for agriculture, springtime, lake time, springtime, lake time, for agriculture, springtime, lake time. And this one, client today training on this for the flat strip constant force spring. This area for a spring forming machine. This area for spring forming machine. This next installed the machine installed down next week to put on the tools, go sampling by the client request. Sampling, then we'll go next training. This machine to be completed, to be dispatched before the Christmas. And then this area for the spring coiling machine. And one of the clients come here for the aluminium coil for his task, aluminium coil. Okay, my friend, I'm a Baker export sales manager. We are CNC spring machine manufacturer. Over 20 years experience. This is our workshop. We have exports over 16 years and had reached over 32 countries and regions. Our main markets are India, Vietnam, Thailand, Turkey, and Mexico. And our machine covered almost every field of our daily life. Okay,